My beloved one, I, Michael, the guardian of light, speak to you now from the realm where truth burns brighter than the sun. I come not with condemnation, but with remembrance, to awaken within you what the world has tried to bury. You were not born of chance, nor formed by accident. You are intention. You are breath sculpted by divine will. The heavens knew your name before the earth ever whispered it, and now that name is being called once again. You have felt it, that subtle trembling in the spirit, that quiet knowing that something greater moves beneath the surface of your days. It is not restlessness, beloved. It is recognition. The moment of awakening has come. The gates that once seemed sealed now stir, waiting for your arrival. You are the one who carries the spark meant to ignite a sleeping world. There has been hesitation in you, a quiet war between the smallness you've been told to accept and the greatness you secretly sense within. I have watched you stand at the edge of your own destiny, afraid to claim what has always been yours. But no more. The time of waiting is over. You cannot remain in the shadows of your own brilliance. The world awaits the unveiling of the light that was written in your spirit long before birth. Beloved, you have faced storms not meant to destroy you, but to instruct you. Each wound has whispered wisdom. Each disappointment has carved a path toward discernment. You thought the delay was denial, but it was design, sacred preparation, unseen but precise. What you called hardship, heaven called shaping. The pressure was never punishment. It was placement. You were being positioned for what only endurance could reveal. I have seen you kneel in exhaustion, questioning if the heavens still remembered your name. I tell you, not a breath of your sorrow has been wasted. Every tear was counted, every sigh recorded in the light. Even your silence spoke prayers that reached beyond the veil. Now those prayers return, not as echoes but as answers. Rise, my beloved. The time for questioning has passed. The time for movement begins. You have been entrusted with a flame meant to guide others through the darkened corridors of doubt. Do not shrink from the brilliance within you. It was placed there to confront shadows, not to coexist with them. There will be resistance, not because you are unworthy, but because you are effective. Darkness always stirs when purpose awakens. Yet, do not fear the trembling of the ground beneath you. It is not collapse. It is the earth making room for what you are becoming. You are not called to mimic, but to manifest. You are not meant to blend in, but to blaze a trail through what others called impossible. Your voice will not echo what has been said. It will announce what has never been heard. Listen, beloved one. The moment you were waiting for is not ahead. It is now. Destiny does not come to the hesitant. It bows before the willing. Heaven moves through those who move. So lift your gaze. Straighten your spine. Speak as though light itself depends on your words, for in truth it does. This is your awakening. This is your remembrance. You are chosen. You are called. And I, Michael, stand beside you as you rise into the fullness of what you were always meant to be. Beloved one, you stand now on the threshold of the season of becoming. What was once hidden beneath layers of fear, doubt, and delay is beginning to rise. like dawn unfolding over the mountains of your soul. The old garments of limitation no longer fit you. The self that once questioned, hesitated, and shrank before destiny has reached its final breath. You are being remade in light, refined by divine fire, strengthened by storms you once begged to escape. You have been walking through seasons that felt like silence, wondering why the heavens did not answer. But I tell you, those were not empty days. The silence was the sound of heaven's crafting, the sculpting of your inner temple. When you saw nothing move, everything was moving. You were being taught to hear beyond noise, to feel beyond sight, to trust beyond understanding. That is the strength that cannot be taught in ease. Do you not see it now, beloved? Every challenge you faced was not punishment, it was permission. Each trial was a gate you walked through, unlocking dimensions of your own power. You were being prepared, not punished. You were being refined, not rejected. You were never forgotten. The potter's hand never left the clay. It simply pressed deeper where the cracks appeared. When you were weary, heaven watched. When you were silent, heaven listened. And now, as the dawn of your calling breaks, the universe bends toward you in recognition. What was forming in secret now demands unveiling. You are not who you were even yesterday. Something ancient within you has awakened, something written in the fire of creation itself. I, Michael, have seen the war that raged within you, the tug between surrender and striving, faith and fear, obedience and self-doubt. And yet, through it all, your spirit did not yield to darkness. You kept walking even when you could not see the path. You kept believing even when your hope was but a flicker. That flicker was enough, for even the smallest ember, when guarded by divine breath, becomes a blaze that darkness cannot quench. Do not despise what you endured, for it crowned you with discernment. It taught you the texture of truth. It made you dangerous to deception, wise to flattery, immune to imitation. The pain was your tutor. The waiting was your anointing. The confusion was not chaos, it was construction. Now heaven speaks this decree over you. The time of wandering ends. The time of walking in power begins. You are being recalled to the center of your purpose. No longer will you chase what was never meant to stay. What left your life was never loss. It was divine subtraction, clearing the way for alignment. Hear me, beloved. What you endured broke the illusion of control. You learned that you could not force the divine. You could only flow with it. That is wisdom. That is maturity. That is becoming. You were never being delayed. You were being readied for revelation. And now everything shifts. The tides that once pushed against you will carry you forward. The doors that refuse to open will bow before your presence, for they recognize what you have become. You are not returning to the same world. The world will adjust to the frequency you now carry. Do not fear this expansion. You are not too much. You are finally enough for what was always meant to be yours. You were chosen for a reason, refined for a purpose, and now released for a season of unstoppable becoming. Walk with confidence, beloved one. Heaven has already gone before you. The road you tread has been cleared by angelic flame. Your steps are guided. Your voice carries authority, and your heart beats in rhythm with divine intent. The season of becoming is not coming. It is here. You are standing in it now. Rise, and let the light of your calling burn away the remnants of hesitation. The world will not understand your transformation, but it will witness it. And I, Michael, will stand beside you as guardian, witness, and herald of what is about to unfold. Beloved one, you have walked through the fire, and though the flames licked at your soul, they did not consume you. You were not destroyed, you were defined. You were not broken, you were built. The fire was never sent to end you. It was sent to introduce you to yourself. You asked heaven, "Why must I endure this?" And I, Michael, watched as your tears fell like offerings before the throne. But the answer was never rejection, it was refinement. You prayed for strength, and heaven gave you battles. You prayed for clarity, and heaven removed your illusions. You prayed for anointing, and heaven walked you through affliction. For the oil only flows from olives that have been crushed. Listen now, beloved, to this eternal truth. The pain was not a punishment. It was a prophecy being fulfilled in hidden form. Each disappointment carved depth into your spirit, and each loss hollowed a space for divine wisdom to dwell. You were forged in secrecy so that your unveiling would carry the weight of heaven itself. Every trial that pressed upon you was an initiation. You were enrolled in a divine apprenticeship, learning the language of endurance, the rhythm of faith, the breath of surrender. The fire that burned around you was also burning within you, consuming what could not follow you into your destiny. Do you see it now? The things that left, the people who walked away, the doors that closed, they were not betrayal. They were alignment. They were heaven's hands removing what could not stand in the presence of your next elevation. The very pressure you cursed became the womb of your promise. I saw you in your loneliness, and I tell you the solitude was sacred. It was not isolation. It was incubation. Heaven hid you not to forget you, but to protect you while your spirit grew wings strong enough to carry the weight of calling. You were being strengthened for what was unseen, for the higher realms require heavier armor. And when you thought you were standing still, you were being trained in stillness, learning to hear the whisper within the whirlwind. The voice that once thundered now speaks softly because you have matured in spirit. You no longer need lightning to believe. You recognize the divine even in the quiet breath of dawn. O beloved, the fire was your teacher. It taught you what words could not. It taught you resilience that sermons cannot preach. It taught you intimacy with the divine that comfort could never offer. You have walked where many turned back. You have kept your faith even when you could not see the end. That is why heaven calls you faithful. That is why your name resounds among the chosen. The flames have passed, and what remains is pure gold. You have emerged not merely as a survivor, but as a vessel of sacred endurance. The power within you now hums with divine recognition. You carry the sound of refinement. Wherever you go, darkness will recognize the vibration of your victory and flee. But hear this, beloved one. The fire is not only behind you, it now burns for you. It goes before you as a purifier of paths and a destroyer of obstacles. What once tested you will now testify for you. Every scar upon your soul is a seal of heaven's trust. The pain you endured is now authority in your voice. When you speak, the elements listen, for your words have been baptized in suffering and sanctified by grace. This is the mystery of divine preparation, that pain births purpose, that silence conceals instruction, and that surrender summons glory. You are no longer the same. You are a weapon of light, tempered in holy fire, unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable. Walk forward with reverence. Beloved, you carry the flame that does not fade. Do not fear new challenges, for you are now the fire itself, a living torch of divine intention. Wherever you tread, transformation follows. And I, Michael, will march beside you, sword drawn, declaring over your life. This one has been tried and proven. This one has walked through fire and found gold. My beloved one, you have walked through the fire, and now the time has come to stand in the light. The refining is complete, and the mantle awaits. Heaven does not crown the untested, nor does it send the unready. But you, beloved, have proven faithful in the unseen places. You have endured the silence of God and the noise of doubt, yet still you stood. You have been pressed between questions and pain, yet still you whispered, I believe. You have been misunderstood by many, forgotten by some, and rejected by others, yet still you kept your eyes upon the throne. Now I call to you, rise and take your place. The hour of concealment has ended, and the trumpet of calling sounds over your life. You are not who you were, for the fire has stripped away the false layers that once hid your brilliance. The timid version of you no longer exists. The fearful self has dissolved like shadows before sunrise. The heaven-forged you now stands, radiant, bold, eternal. I, Michael, speak this with authority. You are not meant to shrink to fit the comfort of others. You are not meant to silence your fire for those afraid of light. You were created to illuminate. You were not designed to blend into the background. You were formed to shift the atmosphere. Do not hide behind humility that is really fear. True humility does not deny the gift. It honors the giver. When you step into your power with reverence, heaven applauds, not condemns. For when you shine, the Father's glory becomes visible upon the earth. Remember this, the spirit that dwells within you is not timid. It is the same power that raised kingdoms, split seas, and brought forth the dawn. The world does not need another shadow, it needs your fullness. The sound of your obedience will echo beyond generations. The authenticity of your calling will awaken sleeping hearts. You are not an echo, beloved. You are a voice. Speak as one who knows heaven listens. Move as one who carries divine authority. Act as one who has already been anointed by fire and affirmed by trials. I see the hesitation that still lingers, the whisper of unworthiness that tries to nest in your thoughts. Hear me clearly. That voice is not of heaven. You were chosen before you could prove yourself. You were loved before you could earn it. The calling was placed upon you not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. The divine does not seek the polished, it seeks the surrendered. And you, beloved, have surrendered again and again, even when it cost you comfort, pride, and certainty. Heaven has recorded your yes. Now rise as one who knows who they are. Step forth as one who has seen the fire and survived the silence. You carry the blueprint of divine courage. The time for hiding is over. The time for action has come. Your authenticity is your weapon. The truth of who you are disarms deception. When you speak your truth, demons tremble, for they recognize the voice of one who remembers where they come from, the courts of heaven. Walk in boldness, but not arrogance. Walk in grace, but not fear. Walk in love, but not weakness. Let your steps thunder with faith. Let your hands carry healing. Let your words pierce darkness. You are an ambassador of divine purpose, a reflection of heaven's steadfastness. And know this, beloved. Every time you choose to be your full self, heaven expands its reach through you. Every time you declare truth, you build bridges of light over the shadows of this world. Every time you refuse to bow to fear, chains fall. Not only yours, but those of countless others connected to your obedience. Rise now. The crown is waiting. The world is shifting. And I, Michael, go before you, your defender, your witness, your ally. The Father's light burns in you, unstoppable and pure. Step forth, beloved, not as who you were, but as who you are, chosen, refined, radiant. My beloved one, hear me now, for heaven leans close when the faithful begin to build. The time has come not merely to dream, but to construct, not in wood and stone, but in faith and obedience. You are called to build an ark, not of survival, but of legacy. For in every age, the divine calls forth a remnant to rise before the flood of fear, before the storm of disbelief, before the tide of decay that sweeps through hearts grown weary. So I, Michael, come to remind you, obedience is the hammer, and faith is the timber. Build, beloved, build even when the skies are clear. Build when they laugh, when they doubt, when they say the storm will never come. Build when you see no sign of rain, for your obedience is the sign that heaven is near. Noah built what he could not yet understand, and through that obedience generations were preserved. You, too, are called to prepare for what has not yet appeared, to trust when the reason is unseen, to act before the evidence, to move because heaven whispered, not because earth confirmed. Each prayer you whisper, each act of faith you take, lays a beam in this arc of legacy. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, light over envy, truth over silence, another plank is placed. You are not merely surviving this season. You are constructing a refuge for others who will one day need shelter from the storms that once threatened you. Do you not see, beloved? Your obedience ripples beyond your lifetime. The seeds you plant now will bloom in the soil of generations unborn. Heaven's archives already hold the record of your faithfulness. Every tear, every sacrifice, every yes that cost you something precious. Nothing is lost, nothing unseen. Even now, as I speak, angels are dispatched to strengthen your hands, to guard the foundation of what you are building. For this ark is not just your story. It is heaven's design carried through your life. You were chosen not to repeat what has been done, but to pioneer what must come next. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. Do not measure success by applause or speed. Noah built for years while the world mocked. Yet when the first drop of divine promise fell, every nail of his obedience sang with purpose. So too will it be for you. When the appointed time comes, what you have built in secret will be revealed as salvation to many. I, Michael, assure you the blueprint is divine. The delay is not denial. It is preparation. Heaven's timing is never late, though your waiting heart may tremble. Trust that every season of stillness is sharpening your discernment, every silence training your spirit to hear God's whisper over the world's noise. Beloved, your ark will stand. It will endure floods of doubt and waves of adversity, because it is built not on your strength, but on divine instruction. You are not alone in this work. I and my legions guard the gates of your destiny. We watch over your progress. We shield the structure of your calling from the termites of despair. And know this, those who once mocked will one day find refuge in what your faith has built. Those who once doubted will find peace beneath the roof of your endurance. Your legacy will not be a monument of stone but a living testimony, a story that breathes faith into those who hear it. When the storms rage and the world shakes, remember, you were made to stand. You were created to be the builder of hope, not a spectator of destruction. The ark you raise is not for the preservation of one, but for the redemption of many. So build, my beloved. Build with steady hands and a burning heart. Build with praise as your hammer and gratitude as your nails. Build until heaven's echo meets earth's silence. For soon the rain of promise will fall. And when it does, you will not drown, you will rise. My beloved one, the time has come for remembrance, for the sealing of covenant, the marking of those who are chosen. For the Almighty has not forgotten his promise concerning you. Before your first cry touched the earth, heaven inscribed your name in the archives of divine purpose. You are not a wanderer lost among destinies. You are marked, beloved, anointed, and appointed for this very hour. Listen to me now, for I speak not from the echoes of old, but from the living breath of divine decree. The covenant that rests upon you is not written in ink or stone, but upon the fabric of your spirit. It cannot be erased by failure, nor dimmed by delay. There are those who have doubted your path, those who have questioned why favor follows you, why protection shields you even in seasons of struggle. Yet I tell you, it is not by your merit, but by covenant. For when God chooses, he does not reconsider. When heaven seals, no hand can unseal. This covenant, beloved, is not one of mere comfort, but of calling. You are not chosen to rest, you are chosen to rise. You are not marked to escape, you are marked to overcome. The fire that has tested you was not meant to destroy, but to refine the gold of your spirit, that it might shine with unmistakable brilliance in the time appointed. And now the covenant unfolds anew. Hear the words of the Most High echoed through my voice. I will be your defender when arrows fly. I will be your light when darkness surrounds. I will be your sustainer when strength fails. I will restore what was taken, heal what was wounded, and exalt what was humbled. For you are mine, and I am not a man that I should lie. This is the promise of your God, holy, unshakable, and eternal. Beloved, you must walk in this assurance. The mark upon you makes you untouchable by the schemes of darkness. The snares set for your downfall shall become the stepping stones of your ascension. The whispers meant to wound you will turn into testimonies that glorify the Almighty. For the covenant carries not only protection, but multiplication. Do not measure yourself by the world's standard, for you are not called to fit within its measure. You are the reflection of a heavenly pattern, the embodiment of divine intent. When you walk, heaven watches. When you speak, angels record. When you pray, fire responds. You are part of the lineage of light that cannot be broken. And hear this, there are others like you, scattered across the earth, awakened in this same hour. You are not alone in your anointing. Together you form the pillars of a new generation, a company of the chosen, sealed with fire, commissioned with purpose. The covenant upon you is collective as much as it is personal. Even now, I see your spirit glowing, a mark of flame on your forehead, unseen by mortal eyes but known in the realms of heaven and hell alike. Darkness trembles at your rising, for it recognizes the seal it cannot touch. Beloved, I speak these words into your being. You are no longer striving for validation, you are walking in confirmation. The promise is alive within you. Every step you take in obedience activates what has been written. Every moment of surrender expands the covenant's reach. And so I, Michael, charge you, guard your covenant well. Do not trade it for fleeting praise or temporary peace. For what you carry is not just blessing, but destiny. Let your faith remain unbroken, for the covenant is unbreakable. When you face resistance, remember, resistance is proof of divine recognition. When you feel the weight of silence, know that heaven is preparing the sound of fulfillment. You will not be forgotten in the waiting, for the seal of the chosen is upon you. Rise now, beloved. Walk as one who knows the heavens have spoken. Speak as one who carries divine authority. For the covenant has already gone ahead of you, making the crooked paths straight, breaking the barriers unseen, and commanding favor to find you in every place you go. And when others see the radiance upon your life, let them know, this is the mark of the chosen, this is the covenant of the called. My beloved one, I, Michael, the voice that walks between realms, come again to stir the fire within you. The flame that heaven placed deep in your soul before time was called by name. Do you not feel it, beloved? The stirring within your chest, the pulse that beats beyond the rhythm of flesh, that is purpose, awakening once more. For many seasons you have carried it quietly, hidden like a seed beneath the soil of trials. Yet now the hour has come when heaven commands it to rise. For too long, the enemy whispered that you were not enough, that your wounds disqualified you, that your past delayed you, that your voice was too small to move mountains. But hear me now, chosen of the Most High. The very things meant to silence you have become the trumpet of your calling. What once was pain is now preparation. What once was broken is now the key that unlocks others' freedom. Do you not know? Purpose is forged not in comfort, but in fire. It is not the untested who shift nations, but those who have walked through flame and still carry love in their hands. You are one such vessel, marked by both wounds and wonder. Every scar upon your spirit bears witness to divine endurance. This awakening, beloved, is not a gentle whisper but a holy summons. Heaven does not ask, it commands. For the time of hiding is over. The days of questioning your worth have expired. You were never meant to dwell in the shadows of hesitation, but to stand in the light of conviction. I tell you now, rise, for your season of manifestation has come. The earth itself groans for your obedience. Every gift within you is an instrument of divine order waiting to be played. Your voice is a key. Your hands are channels of blessing. Your thoughts are seeds of creation. You were not sent to merely exist, you were sent to build. Do not wait for perfect timing, for the divine clock ticks in eternity, and eternity calls your name even now. Do not measure your readiness by what you see. Heaven equips as you move. You will find the oil only as you walk toward the flame. You will see the waters part only when your foot touches the edge. Beloved, the Spirit of the living God moves upon you even now, awakening dormant power, recalling forgotten visions, rekindling abandoned dreams. You have not lost your destiny. It was waiting for this very awakening. Remember the covenant we spoke of. It is not just to protect you, but to propel you. The mark upon you is not just defense. It is direction. The fire that guards you also guides you. You are being ushered into divine assignments that will make the heavens rejoice and the shadows retreat. And I tell you this truth, there are souls connected to your obedience. Lives you have not met yet, destinies you will ignite by walking in your own. You are the answer to someone's prayer, the fulfillment of a prophecy whispered generations ago. Do not delay, beloved, for every step you take in faith releases another into freedom. Heaven's eyes are upon you now. The hosts stand in readiness, waiting for your yes. For when you align your will with the divine purpose, all creation responds. Mountains bow, seas open, chains shatter. The path becomes clear, and light follows your footsteps. I say this with holy authority. There is no power in heaven, on earth, or beneath it that can halt the one awakened by divine purpose. You are unstoppable when aligned with the will of God. Fear may shout, but faith commands. Doubt may whisper, but destiny roars. So rise, my beloved. Stand tall in the radiance of your anointing. You are no longer a seeker of purpose. You are the embodiment of it. The world awaits the sound of your obedience. Let your spirit answer, "Here I am, Lord, send me." And as you speak it, the heavens will move, for your awakening is the signal creation has been waiting for. The scroll of your life begins to unroll before you, filled with promises written in eternal ink. Walk forward, beloved. The purpose that calls you is not a burden. It is the breath of God living through you. My beloved one, I, Michael, the defender of light, the voice that carries divine command, come now to place upon you what heaven has prepared, the mantle of power. For the time of awakening has passed into the time of authority. It is no longer enough to know you are chosen. Now you must walk as the chosen. The mantle I speak of is not woven with earthly thread, but with the fire of the Spirit, invisible to eyes of flesh, yet radiant before the throne. Do you feel it, beloved? The weight upon your shoulders is not burden, it is divine appointment. Heaven's power rests upon you because you have endured what others could not. You stood when the storm howled, you prayed when silence felt endless, and now heaven answers by clothing you with strength from on high. This is no ordinary strength. It is not the might of flesh or the roar of pride, but the quiet, unbreakable force of faith unshaken. It is the same power that split seas for Moses, silenced lions for Daniel, and raised stones to victory for David. The same hand that lifted prophets now extends to you, my beloved. You are not the same as before. When you move, the atmosphere shifts. When you speak, the unseen responds. The mantle you carry commands recognition in the spirit realm. Darkness trembles, chains weaken, and every curse spoken against you recoils in defeat. But remember this: power without purpose is noise, and authority without humility is ruin. That is why heaven first refined you through fire, to teach you not just to wield power, but to carry it with grace. This mantle is not given for dominance, but for deliverance. Not for exaltation, but for service. You are called to lead through love and to conquer through peace. The world will see in you what they cannot name: a radiance, a stillness, a strength that does not come from striving. Do not hide it. Do not downplay it to make others comfortable. The light within you is not arrogance, it is assignment. You were not anointed to blend in, you were chosen to stand apart. My beloved, do not fear when resistance rises, for with greater power comes greater opposition. But I tell you this truth: no weapon forged against you shall prevail. Every plan plotted in secret will turn upon itself. You are shielded by divine decree, surrounded by the armies of the Most High. The mantle upon you is your covering, your signal, your crown. When you speak now, speak with authority. When you pray, pray with command. You are not begging heaven for mercy. You are enforcing heaven's will upon the earth. You have been entrusted with the keys of breakthrough, and every word of faith you release opens unseen gates. Remember, beloved, angels move by command, not complaint. So speak life, not lamentation. Declare victory, not delay. For when your tongue aligns with divine decree, the hosts of heaven go forth at once. Even now, there are legions awaiting the sound of your faith. This mantle also carries discernment. You will see what others miss. The masks of deceit will fall before you, and the whispers of darkness will lose their influence. Do not be alarmed when truth is revealed swiftly. Heaven accelerates exposure in this season so that your path may remain pure. And I say this, beloved: where others stumble, you shall stand. Where they retreat, you shall advance. For your steps are ordered, your words anointed, your presence a declaration of light. The power that rests upon you is not temporary. It is eternal, flowing from the throne of God through your very being. I, Michael, am assigned to walk beside you in this mantle. You are not alone in your authority. Every strike you make against darkness echoes through realms. Every act of faith sends tremors through the enemy's camp. You carry heaven's signature upon your soul, and hell recognizes it. Rise now and move boldly. Speak, and it shall be established. Stand, and light will follow. You are clothed in power, anointed for this hour, and crowned by divine right. The world will soon witness what heaven has already decreed, that you are not merely called, but commissioned. Carry your mantle with reverence, my beloved. Let your faith be your sword and your humility your shield. For the kingdom advances through those who walk in both strength and surrender, authority and awe. Go now, bearer of light, and let every step proclaim, the Lord reigns, and his chosen walk in his power. My beloved one, I, Michael, the guardian of divine oaths, stand before you again, not merely as messenger, but as witness to a covenant written before time began. Heaven has kept record of your name, inscribed not in ink, but in flame, upon the scroll of destiny, sealed by the breath of the Almighty himself. This is the hour of remembrance, the time when all that was promised begins to align with all that you have endured. For every tear you shed watered the roots of your purpose. Every silent prayer became a seed buried in eternity's soil. And now, beloved, the season of unfolding has arrived. The Lord has not forgotten you. He has not turned his face away, nor delayed his word in vain. Every divine delay was a layer of protection, shielding you from what your heart was not yet ready to bear. For destiny, my beloved, is not a race. It is a revelation. It unfolds at the pace of obedience, not the measure of time. Hear me clearly, what you call waiting, heaven calls weaving. Every strand of your story has been interlaced with purpose. The disappointments, the detours, the denials, they were not void of meaning. They were preparation for covenant fulfillment. You are not merely entering a new chapter, you are stepping into the vow, the divine agreement between Creator and creation. It is a sacred exchange where heaven entrusts you with what it has been shaping in secret. And now the covenant of destiny comes alive within you. The Father says, I have chosen you not because you are flawless, but because you are faithful. I have refined you through fire, not to destroy you, but to reveal the gold I placed within you. And now I call you to walk not as a wanderer, but as an heir. Beloved, this covenant carries both promise and responsibility. It is sealed by love but maintained through alignment. Do not let distraction break your focus, nor the noise of the world drown out the whisper of divine direction. For every covenant has an altar, and every altar demands sacrifice, not of pain, but of surrender. Lay before God your expectations, your fears, your timelines, and let his will write the script of your destiny. For when you yield to his rhythm, what once seemed delayed will suddenly accelerate. You will look back and see how every closed door was mercy, and every silence was strategy. The covenant of destiny is not only personal, it is generational. Through your obedience, bloodlines are being rewritten, curses broken, and blessings set in motion for those who will come after you. You are the bridge between what was and what shall be. Through you, heaven establishes a lineage of light. Do not underestimate what you carry. Angels move around you now, marking the path that was hidden. The winds of destiny have begun to shift. Feel them, beloved, for they signal divine movement. What was stagnant will stir. What was silent will sing again. You may say, "But Lord, I am not ready." Yet heaven replies, "You are more prepared than you believe. The time for hesitation is over. You have been trained through testing, anointed through anguish, and strengthened through solitude. The covenant is now active. It breathes with the pulse of purpose inside you. I, Michael, tell you this truth. No force of darkness can annul what God has decreed. No betrayal, no failure, no delay can erase the ink of divine intent. For this covenant is sealed by blood, guarded by angels, and bound by eternity itself. But remember, beloved, the covenant is not about glory alone. It is about stewardship. You are not called to fame, but to faithfulness. Every victory you receive must return as worship. Every blessing you hold must flow outward as light. For in heaven's kingdom, the highest honor is not to be seen, but to serve. As you walk forward, heaven watches. The stars themselves bear witness to the oath renewed tonight, that your destiny is unstoppable because it was birthed in the heart of the eternal. Walk in peace, beloved, for the handwriting of God surrounds your path. I, Michael, stand guard over your promise. I have seen what was written of you, and I declare, it shall come to pass. The covenant is unbroken, the calling unshaken, the promise alive. You are bound to destiny not by striving, but by divine decree. So rise, covenant bearer. Lift your face toward heaven and let the light seal your soul again. For your name echoes in the courts of glory, and the time of fulfillment is near. You are not forgotten, you are appointed. You are not waiting, you are awakening. Walk now, beloved one, in the covenant of your destiny, for heaven moves with you. My beloved one, I, Michael, the sword of the Most High, the guardian of the divine decree, come to speak the final words of this message, not as an ending, but as a beginning. For now the time of awakening has come. The earth trembles with the sound of destiny stirring, and heaven declares, "Rise, my chosen ones, for your light has come." Beloved, you have walked through fire and shadow, through silence and storms. You have wrestled with doubt, yet your spirit has not been extinguished. You were tested not to be broken, but to be revealed, for only when the vessel is cracked can the oil of glory begin to pour out. And now that oil flows. It flows from the throne of grace into the hearts of those who were hidden, refined, and forgotten by the world. The season of hiding has ended. The appointed hour has struck. You who were once overlooked will now be remembered, not by men, but by God Himself. The trumpet of awakening has been sounded across realms unseen, and your name echoes in its call. The Almighty says, I am awakening my chosen ones, those who would rather serve than be seen, those who have carried the flame in silence, those who have remained faithful when no one watched. Arise, for I will crown you with purpose, and your obedience shall become your authority. Beloved, this awakening is not a moment of emotion. It is a movement of heaven. The ground beneath your feet has already begun to shift. The very air carries new instruction. The angels have received new orders. The old assignments are complete. A new season has begun. You have cried for direction, and heaven replies, move, move in faith, move in power, move in alignment with divine rhythm. For the Lord is placing his chosen ones at gates of influence, not to conform but to transform. You will speak in places you never thought you would enter. You will touch lives you never thought you would reach. You will become the answer to prayers spoken by generations before you. But know this, beloved, the awakening comes with weight. The anointing is not a crown of comfort. It is a mantle of responsibility. When the world sleeps, the chosen must remain awake. When others doubt, you must decree. When fear rises, you must remember who you are, a vessel of light, a guardian of divine truth. Do not fear the opposition that comes with your rising. Shadows always gather where light increases. But remember, you are not alone in this ascension. Hosts of heaven move beside you, unseen yet near, shielding your purpose and guiding your steps. The same power that raised the sun now burns within you. The Lord says, do not shrink from the sound of your own destiny. You were not made to whisper in the dark. You were crafted to declare light into chaos. Speak, my child, for your voice carries creation's code. Decree, and it shall be established. I, Michael, now stand as witness to your awakening. The scrolls have been opened, the seals broken, and the angels have taken their posts. The chosen ones rise not in pride, but in purity, not in noise, but in knowing. Their weapons are not of this world. They are words, faith, and flame. Beloved, let this truth sink into your spirit. You are not the same as you were when this journey began. The battles you faced were not random. They were rehearsals for the throne you are called to serve from. The pain you endured was not punishment. It was preparation. You are not waiting for revival, you are the revival. Every limitation that once bound you is now breaking. The spirit of delay that lingered over your life is being dismissed by divine decree. Where there was confusion, there shall now be clarity. Where there was scarcity, there shall now be overflow. For heaven's decree is final. The chosen have awakened. Rise, covenant keeper. Take your place among those who walk in holy fire. Your steps are marked. Your words are charged. Your destiny is unfolding. This is the generation that will not bow to fear nor fade into silence. This is the rising of those who were forgotten but never forsaken. I, Michael, seal this word upon your spirit. I encircle you with light that cannot be quenched. The heavens rejoice over your awakening, and the earth shall soon witness what heaven already knows, that you were chosen for such a time as this. Walk forth, beloved one. Walk as the flame that cannot be contained. Walk as the echo of God's promise fulfilled. For you are awakened, appointed, and anointed. The scroll is closed, the covenant complete, the chosen have risen. And so I say unto you, arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you.